Hi guys! So finally I can say that it is my first stem cell birthday. I am so excited, although it's only this day, but it's just everything. I just feel so like crazy. I'm all over the place, even though it's just only 1 year since I had my stem cell transplant, which obviously is a huge milestone for me and in general for anyone who has gone through what I have and is now here pretty stable, alive, and somewhat smiley after such a crazy ride, crazy journey that I had since my stem cells were transplanted back. It's been one crazy year, I can tell you, and biggest accomplishment now on my first stem cell anniversary or birthday is that I have survived. I have made it without any serious or any kind of complications that could be related to the transplant itself. I haven't had any huge setbacks, any complications, any like confirmed relapses, any like clearly debilitating new symptoms. Although I have been having some sensory symptoms, but I'm still not at all convinced that there could be some sort of relapsing happening, but you never know. Just always keeping my fingers crossed and taking it day by day and just not trying to worry too much, because worrying and stressing out things is not the thing we want if we're living with a chronic illness, since unfortunately I cannot state that I'm cured from MS, but at least I can hope and look forward to hearing, especially now that I'm having my MRI quite soon in the near future, that the MRI would confirm that my MS is indeed halted and no future attacks most likely won't happen. So that is something that could be quite safe to say. But anyways, I'm just living in the moment, seizing the moment. Every sad or great or happy situation and moment in my life, whatever comes, I just take it as it is and try to stay positive as I have so far till now. But for the past year, regarding my recovery, it was pretty much how I expected it to be. Nothing too radical or too extreme occurred. That is how I actually wanted it. Of course, I would have hoped some more improvements, but luckily I'm only 1 year out, and there is another year that can possibly bring some new pleasant, positive improvements or extra bonuses for me symptom-wise and in general. So I'm still hopeful about the future and about things improving for me symptom-wise. But now I just want to stay focused, keeping my body and my brand new immune system that is clearly not anymore very brand new, since my cells are regenerating and are pretty much back to normal. But of course I want to stay extra careful about how I treat my body, what I put into my body, and how I treat my new immune system, since it's not only about having some might say radical treatment as HSCT for an autoimmune disorder like my MS, but of course I want to stay in all aspects very, very vigilant and very considerate about any possible risks, and just trying to minimize all those threats and possible risks that might aggravate my or wake up my MS and this horrible symptoms that I've been having, and possibly any new symptoms. So of course I'm just paying more and more attention to my diet, any possible supplements, exercising, and all those very basic things that are key to just to good health in general. So that's nothing new, but I just need to stay very focused and engaged and determined to really maintain a good way of living, and just making the right choices for my body and for my health, just to maintain the balance. But that is something, that is one thing. But what the MS might bring in the future, hopefully nothing. Hopefully the MS stays sleeping and hibernating or dead or whatever. It doesn't matter as long as it doesn't disturb me, because I am really determined to staying MS symptom free, and MS just being out of my life. I just want to live my life. I want to be focusing on other things, like I've said before, and just want to embrace life and embrace my health as it is right now. Even though some of or most of my old MS symptoms might never completely heal, I still feel that my life can be very good and very active and very stable despite all those symptoms that are existing somewhere there, more or less present in my everyday life. As long as no new symptoms appear, I am a happy girl, and that is all I ever wanted from HSCT I had for my MS. But like I've said millions of times, it has been very, very fast, fast forward time-wise, how the last year has just passed by, and all of a sudden I'm here 1 year after a transplant, and at the moment I feel content. I feel fine, although I have some disturbing symptoms, but those have been part of my life the past 5 years. I've had MS, so it's highly likely that those such symptoms will continue to be part of my everyday life, and that is something I just need to get used to if I'm. But yeah, like I said, just for it's probably how this recovery has happened for me, in a way that I haven't had any, although I haven't had any huge or major significant new symptomatic improvements, yet I have had the privilege, or have had the safe path to follow, so that I haven't had any kind of severe or life-threatening complications like some people do have, serious infections or some viral reactivations in their virus and reactivating in their bodies, and that again causing further issues. So in that sense, I haven't had any issues, and that is a great thing, because I just feel like it's clearly nothing is to be taken for granted, since MS is a horrible disease, very complicating disease, and can cause even some life-threatening conditions and very severe cases. So MS itself can be very, very insidious and very dangerous. But also having to add such aggressive and such invasive treatment as HSCT is for any kind of patient, having such a chronic underlying condition to be treated with HSCT. So the result could be disastrous. But in my case, I just went home and I started recovering, and here I am after 12 months of recovering and just living my life. I'm trying to cope and adjust into my new body with a new immune system and new way of feeling, and just having to adjust. And this treatment is not for everyone, but for anyone who can afford it, and for anyone who really, really wants to have a superior MS treatment other than the usual drugs that neurologists are offering to treat to reduce the annual relapse rate. HSCT is by far a better option, and if you have the chance to have it to treat your MS or any other underlying condition, such as other chronic illnesses considered to be autoimmune disorders, where your cells are attacking your other tissues of your body, HSCT is a very, very good and viable option for you. And the recovery, it can be hard for some people. It can be definitely tolerable, as it was for me, and I'm still recovering. It's by no means the end of the recovery after 12 months of being into the recovery stage. I'm still learning new things about my body and still learning how to maintain a better health. And above all, I'm still learning how to balance with my immunity and the ever-changing balances between my cells and my immune system. So the process is an ongoing thing. You just go from stage to stage. I'm truly grateful for anyone who has been following me the past year, and of course even before having HSCT. I will keep vlogging, and hopefully you are interested following my future journey, especially now that I'm going to have a MRI scan, which is not something I'm looking forward to, since most likely the MRI will reveal something that I already knew, but it, in very unfortunate cases, can also reveal something that shouldn't be there, and that could prove that HSCT wasn't enough to halt my disease progression. But like I've said many times, it's early days yet, so only the MRI can tell more about my symptoms and more about my situation. But till then, I thank you very much for watching and hope to see you next time. Bye bye.